stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere. What they saying, loot is back. Blame it on that. The hood call it looting. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down like go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million. This last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts, accountants count me in. Make millions every year, the South's champion. Cause all I do, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Swerving in my low, head on the swivel, you know serving me's a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my Rolls Royce. Yellow bone passenger, they see it, they say, oh boy. Tell Kelly, back it up, my call me loco. Therefore, don't make me pull that. Ask you what you laughing at. Represent that mud life. Dirty money, you better get your mud right. We come together holding hands and holler mud life. We all in all black, it's like life.
All it's true is win.
You riding to what? Cause we riding tonight. Now you riding with me cause you wasn't.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Heat in the kitchen, hot on the stove, water getting boiled. Being sold, Snoopy in the hookie, system overload. I've been running this rap game since I was 20 years old. I hung with the worst of them, bust till I burst them up, floss them up, toss them up, hard away.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. And on tap tonight, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Bulls out in Chicago. And guys, for the Bulls, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And let's talk for a moment about Derrick Rose. He's missed so much time the past several seasons with injuries. Kenny, is it too much to expect him to return to his former level, his MVP level?
Well, maybe not the MVP level, but he still can be a serviceable all-star.
Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action, coming to you live on this Saturday night. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Last game for the Timberwolves, they picked up the W against Miami. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all theirs. Once they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
Yeah, and in that game, we saw a lot of sloppy play from the opposing offense. They coughed the ball up, a lot of unforced turnovers.
And that did make things relatively easy for them. You know, it's nice to get a win and not have to work too hard for it.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup, the athletic duo of Levine and Wiggins on the perimeter. Garnett out there with Towns, and it's Rubio in at the 1 spot.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
On defense, the Timberwolves. Inside, here's Gasol. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
Now here's Towns. D right on him. There's the screen. On the wing, Wiggins. Defended by Dunleavy. 5 to shoot. Here's Rubio. He sticks that one in from 20 feet away. Rubio's got his first bucket of the night.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Rubio is becoming a special shooter.
Rose gets the bucket.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
Now, here's Rubio. An 11-point game for him in the win against Miami. Kicks it to Levine. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Levine's got his second bucket of the night. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that Cameo song, Back and Forth. And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Rubio with it. Now guarded by Gibson. Gibson against Rubio. Here's Towns. And another three for Minnesota.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Rose against Rubio. Gasol a screen. And Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. And it's Gasol penetrating. No luck. Excellent D there from Garnett.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Here's Dunleavy. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler.
A look now at where the Timberwolves ranked in the NBA last year. 6th in free throw percentage. 7th in points off turnovers. And they made their way into the top 10 in second chance points. I mean, this is a team that really emphasized chasing down. Missed shots, and they did a pretty good job of it.
And you look at their free throw percentage, not to be overlooked. I mean, this was a team, I thought, that did a really good job of taking advantage of their opportunity.
And Towns gets it to go.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
Now here's Rose. The game against Oklahoma City, very impressive. Gasol a screen. Here's Butler. That one rolling around and rims out.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer. Was and folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Now here's Towns, defended by Butler. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Dunleavy dishes to Butler. Rose with the ball. Guarded now by Rubio. Rose gets to Gasol. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I'm about as shocked as you are, Clark.
Levine got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Bulls trail by 12. High arcing shot. Noah, the pass to Brooks. Here's the 2K leaderboard with last season's best free throw shooting team. The Bulls 3rd.
Boy, Kevin, I thought their coach really did a fantastic job of getting all of the guys on the team to realize the importance of free throws. You know, last year where they were great, excellent from the line. This year, they're hoping to do even better.
Ejuan Moore is checked in for the Bulls. For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often. A winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Dishes to Mirotic. They get the rebound. Butler, a screen on Jang. Here's Mirotic. Here's Noah. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. That drops.
They have got to put a body on it, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And Rubio kicks to Towns. Brooks against Rubio. At the top of the key, Towns. Shot clock at 6. The dish now to Levine. There's a screen. Fires the 3. Timberwolves keep it alive. The tray. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
Yeah, 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
A moment here to see the stats for Butler. Last season, he played outstanding. He's averaged 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. With him, you get so much, but his ability to lead the way with his scoring, probably his best attribute.
An offensive powerhouse. He can just beat you in so many ways. Got to give it up for him. Much love.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Shabazz Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And it's Martin in for Ricky Rubio. And Brooks gets it to go.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Levine dishes to Jang from 11 feet away. That's good on the jump shot.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Here's Levine. 17 points for him last game against Miami. No luck. Nice D from Brooks. Bulls trail by 16 to the inside. No good from Moore.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
Levine, and he drains the 3. But let's see, they may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
And the replay center out in Secaucus delivering the footage. And guys, it sure looks like the shot left his hands just a moment too late.
Yeah, this one pretty clear cut. I don't think there's much question about it. He didn't get it off in time. I'm sure the officials are going to agree with that.
And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Timberwolves.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Minnesota, Rubio and Levine teaming up in the backcourt. Wiggins is out there with Garnett, and it's Towns in at the 5. Moore with the bucket. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Rubio, the pass to Wiggins. And then jammed down as he goes right over Taj Gibson. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rack.
Check out the fellas. Check out his teammates over on the bench. So they are going crazy. Could it have been any other way? I mean, last season, KG returning to the Wolves. I mean, the entire city was buzzing for his return.
Well, Kevin Garnett was once the star here and now is acting as the mentor for all these young Timberwolves players. He won't let them slack even for a moment on or off the floor.
You know, it's that competitive fire that made KG so great, Kevin, and Minnesota made a savvy move, I think, to get him into the locker room and back on the squad.
Payne, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Martin comes in for Ricky Rubio. Kicks it out to Gibson. Moore outside. Gibson the screen. And it's Moore penetrating. Martin with the block. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Timeout. Start it.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves.
Yeah, an interconference matchup, and these are two teams at different ends of the spectrum as far as the talent is concerned.
Well, you know, they swept the season series a year ago. The expectation is they'll do the same thing again this time around.
Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for the Timberwolves. Gasol inside, working on Payne, and he gets it to go. 8 points for Pau Gasol.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Towns with it. Coming off a solid outing against Miami. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And haven't we seen that a few times today, guys? I mean, their defense has got to have a little bit more toughness about it.
Rose kicks to Moore. Gibson dishes to Rose. Here's Dunleavy. Gasol trying to free himself up. Dunleavy's shot is off. Martin against Rose. Now Towns. 11 points in the game. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Rose attacking. Rebound, Minnesota.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right. Martin with it. Gasol covering. They set the pick. Here's Muhammad. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him. That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Martin the pass to Muhammad. Feeds it to Towns from 11 feet away, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Kevin, he's definitely making his presence felt here in the first half. He's been very effective so far.
No good from Gibson.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Let's take a look at the players who were the best on the glass a season ago. Fourth, Pau Gasol.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
A challenging stretch here for Chicago. Over in the corner, Rose. Moore against Martin. And it's Moore penetrating. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths, shooting in the low 60s last season.
And you know, with his free throw percentage being where it was last season, it changed the way teams defended him. I mean, there were no easy baskets. He was going to get fouled anytime he got near the rim. They were going to make him earn his points at the line.
The three, Noah with the block. And Pekovic kicks to Zhang. From down in the low post, it goes. Zhang's got his third basket of the night. Zhang's gotten all three of his shots to fall for him. 3 for 3. And last season, an injury-filled one for Nikola Pekovic. Played only 31 games before he was sidelined. Clark with an Achilles injury.
Yeah, and you know, he wasn't even playing quite up to par before the injury, Kevin. After shooting well over 50% in each of his first 4 seasons, he dropped to under 43% last year.
Moore outside. He dishes it to Mirotic. It's Brooks on the wing. To the middle. There's the double team with Pekovic. Clock at 6. Moore passes to Noah. No good. And Minnesota will come the other way.
And on the subject of Pekovic, last season was another difficult step back for him physically. At some point, one wonders if his whole career becomes in jeopardy. It just takes so much effort to keep coming back.
Moore with it, and it's Martin picking him up.
2 minutes, 2 hours.
Rubio against Brooks. Off the pick. And the jumper is on the mark. Brooks has got 5.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
And, guys, I, for one, can relate to what Pekovic is going through. I mean, it's not easy as a big man to get those injuries to your legs. I mean, you're carrying a lot of weight and force around. I mean, let's hope Nikola finds a little more luck going forward as far as the injuries.
Noah, it's good on the putback. Noah's got his second bucket of the night.
You know, his positioning near the hoop, always to his advantage. Just a terrific job to tip that one back in.
Minnesota calls timeout.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Towns, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Garnett comes in for Gorgui Dieng. Wiggins is checked in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Levine subbed in for Martin. Took the opportunity when he saw it. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, a 2-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Towns dishes to Levine. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation.
And last season, really a tale of two halves for the Wolves. When Ricky Rubio returned from injury, they just looked so much more in sync as a team.
And the technical free throw is good. .43 seconds left in the first half of the game. Garnett, the screen. Towns kicks to Garnett, and stolen by Mirotic. Here's Moore, and the Bulls tack on 2 more. Timberwolves leading by 21. Well, the Wolves improved just very slightly last year in terms of wins, Clark. Quality of play on the floor, though, was visible.
Yeah, and you know, the team's point differential was a lot better with Rubio in the lineup. They did have some big wins over quality teams, and Rubio's impact was certainly noticeable.
And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
And it's E'Twaun Moore with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Buried from outside. But I don't know. I think we may see a review here. That was pretty close. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And the footage relayed to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus, I think he got it off in time. The replay leaving little doubt.
But to me, it's worth being certain. And that's why we have replay, to get these big calls right.
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And, Kevin, an example of why it's good to have replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Minnesota on top as they dominate the last minutes of the quarter on an 8-0 run. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lopsided game. It's Minnesota out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Let's start with you, Kenny. What did you think?
The thing I've noticed more than anything is how well they spread the floor at the offensive end. Their spacing has been fantastic, and the end result has been a lot of good looks from three-point land. And now they've established themselves from long range.
And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about to get...
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long Clark as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean, you rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal, attacking basketball. I like that.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
And with Powell, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
LaVine passes to Towns. Rubio with a wide-open look. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
And a final point, guys, with Powell's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
And the dunk by Towns.
Forget about finesse and agility. This big fella's all about power and force.
Third quarter of basketball. We're about a minute and a half in. And the wide open shot from Rose. Another one falls for Chicago. It's been all Timberwolves. And after this game wraps up, they're off to Atlanta where they'll take on the Hawks. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Garnett with the screen for Rubio. Passes it to LaVine. They double him with Butler. 5 to shoot. Here's Rubio. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
And that's good stuff from him. Nice touch.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass. And he bangs down the one-hander.
2 very easy points right there for sure.
He'll take those all day.
Garnett against Gibson. Got a piece of it. That'll be Minnesota as it goes out of bounds. Timberwolves retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Gorgie Dang comes in for Kevin Garnett. And Martin subbed in for LaVine.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
14 feet away. Again, Chicago.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Minnesota's gotten the three ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. Wiggins drives in. Tries from 10. Second shot opportunity. There's the bucket. Good. Chang's got 8 points.
He just punishes you on the backboard. I mean, it's pretty deflating for a team trailing big and still giving up second chance opportunities.
Rubio dishes to Wiggins. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty. Jam.
Oh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Andrew Wiggins pulls it in.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
For Minnesota, they've gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
That's the epitome of teamwork right there, Kevin, on the alley-oop.
Clark, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder.
Yeah, lightning too.
But guys, the pass for me, even better. He absolutely put that on a platter for him.
Rubio can't get that one to fall. Bulls have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. Rose attacking. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the Thunder.
And what a luxury when you have depth. I mean, a lot of their scoring in that win came from their reserves. And make no mistake, they carried the load for that team.
Without question, the starters can't do it all game long. You need that help from the reserves, and they got it in that one.
So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seem to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game, and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GM shaking. In their head for not going harder after him.
Now the pass to Butler, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pekovic. Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gibson, and Mirotic subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Towns, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Garnett comes in for Gorgie Dang, and Zach LaVine subbed in for Martin. And it's Rose missing.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that... Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Double team on Rose, and Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Some changes for Chicago. Etuan Moore comes in for Pau Gasol. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. Now here is Mirotic. 8 points for him. And he gets it to go.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call.
Pass to Rubio. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Wiggins against Butler. Wiggins drives in. And stolen by Butler. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. It's off his leg. And the official saying it was kicked. Here's Butler. And he slams it one-handed.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop there with that one-hand tomahawk slam?
And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And so Butler nails both of them. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
And the basket by Rubio.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
There's 48 seconds left in the 3rd. Moore outside. To the paint. And that one's good by Noah. Noah's got his 3rd basket of the night.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this. I mean, if you're looking to get back into this game, you have to get tougher defensively.
Brooks with no one around. No good with the triple. Minnesota's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Noah against Rubio. Garnett, the screen. He gets it up. And it goes at the buzzer.
Digging deep to hit that shot.
And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. So it's Minnesota now. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the 4th. Bjelica is out there at Pekovic. Then there's Muhammad. Then there's Tayshaun Prince. And it's Martin in at the point.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace.
Now here's Muhammad. He's guarded closely. Lets it go from 14. And again, it's Minnesota. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
From 18 feet away, and that one's good.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
Chicago's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. More. Another 3 for Chicago.
I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
And it's Martin missing.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Neither am I. I mean, if you're going to attempt a buzzer beater, I guess I will comment. Make sure there's actually a buzzer to beat.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Justin Holiday's checked in for the Bulls.
Justin Holiday.
About a minute and a half through the 4th quarter now. And Brooks, here we go. And stolen by Pekovic. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pekovic. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Brooks for 3, and he gets it to go. Brooks has got 6 in the quarter.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Well, Chicago has gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. Bairstow misses.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Chicago has gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. Muhammad with the steal. The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Chicago ball.
Here's Brooks. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. This one for 3. That's good.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Here's Chicago. It's a 12-2 run here. Good pace. Beyond the arc. And that one's good.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And, guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
The Bulls have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor.
And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. There's Bairstow, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That's on Nikola Pekovic.
And last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
Well, Greg, it would work out for Minnesota with all those losses. They got the lucky bounce, Clark, and the #1 pick in the draft.
And, you know, it's the first time in a long time that the worst team in the league actually got the top pick in the draft, allowed Minnesota to add another great young big to complement Rookie of the Year, Andrew Wiggins.
And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Well, the defense just hasn't pressed up to deny any of those looks, guys. I mean, they're hanging back and getting picked apart.
Bulls making a switch here. Butler's checked in. Plenty of space. Rebound collected by Levine. Levine's got his 3rd rebound on the night. But they get it back. Martin with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. From deep 3-point range, rebound by Butler. Butler's got his 4th rebound in this one.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And again, no good by Chicago. The prayer from beyond half court is off the mark.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Near the 3-point line, it's Dunleavy. Rebound, Minnesota.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly, that's the right look. The decision was good, he just didn't execute.
Minnesota making some changes. Kevin Garnett, he's checked in for Nikola Pekovic. Wiggins comes in for Shabazz Muhammad. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Martin. To the middle. And it's Rose. This time the assist by Butler. And 12 points for Rose.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like... this.
And Tang gets it to go.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
And, Greg, I have no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I hate to see teams get conservative with the lead. As long as they're good shots, take them. And as long as they're falling, continue to take them.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jang. Here's Dunleavy, covered by Wiggins. Jang's got his third rebound tonight. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Chicago ball.
Bulls trail by 19. High post shot. That's good. It's his 7th made basket in 14 tries. The Timberwolves shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Garnett. And Chicago shooting it brilliantly here lately. 60% from the field. Levine passes to Rubio. Jang with the ball. Gasol covering. And here's Garnett. From deep. Rebound by the Bulls. Butler's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Back to Rose. Corner shot. Can't get it to go. And Minnesota will come the other way. We've got 1:55 left in the 4th quarter. They get it again. Kicks it out to Rubio. Jang. Rebound by Rose.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Rubio with a screen on Butler. Garnett. Rebound by Rose. Rose has got his 3rd rebound on the night.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Timberwolves.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching any lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin. I think the shot selection was good, too.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
And looking at the arc of the season, this is the first of 2 meetings on the year, so this will be a solid win to go up 1-0 in the season series against the Bulls.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Rubio. He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
Chicago ball.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Mike Dunleavy. Morris checked in for Jimmy Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. The Timberwolves also changing it up. Nikola Pekovic comes in for Gorgui Dieng. And it's Muhammad in for Ricky Rubio. There's 47 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Pekovic. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Brooks outside to the inside and stolen by Pekovic. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Pekovic. Dunleavy's checked in for Taj Gibson. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Martin's checked in.
And guys, for Nikola Pekovic, NBA scouts said he needed work on his shot coming in. Yet he's money from mid-range at times, especially at the charity stripe. One of the best free bigs we have in our league.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Levine's checked in.
He's got to be disappointed with himself on that one. He has got to knock those down.
And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Lets it fly. Mirotic. Gets the bucket. Here's Martin. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch, they say, by Martin.
Timeout for the Bulls.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. They trail by 11. 11 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And Chicago has possession. They trail by 11. It's tipped. Muhammad. It's off. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give up.
Yes, I'm here with Kevin Garnett.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation. Ricky Rubio. He had an outstanding third quarter. And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson.